what are you noticing? Like now, obviously, the core functionality, core kind of idea of what you guys are doing is everything we've talked about. It's nurturing, it's follow up, it's outbounding, it's allowing people to go back to their existing customer base, et cetera. What are some of the things that are being talked about just in your conversations with customers now that maybe people are starting to think about that you guys have just started thinking about, or you're just starting to try to build out? You mentioned something about, I think it was your AI agent earlier.
Well, I mean, I would say this. I mean, I think everybody on the call has played with ChatGPT, right? So like AI is real. I don't think it was two years ago, not at the extent at which it is now. And so there's just so much investment going into LLMs. And the reason that's even important to this industry is that some of the communication that we're talking about here can and probably should be automated, right? The back and forth, asking questions, to the customer, qualifying and disqualifying leads, figuring out if they're in your service area. I mean, these things are very expensive human interactions that can and should be automated. And so I'm spending a lot of my time. We started this investment probably about a year and a half ago when it wasn't really working. But now that it is, really rolling this out to customers and spending a lot of my time talking to them about the trouble that they're having to staff outbound CSRs and inbound CSRs. It's tough because I think frankly, with inflation, the rate of pay, it's hard to staff that at $30 an hour, and so, at $17 an hour, it kind of made sense, but, it's hard to find people to work for that rate anymore. And so there comes a point where you have to augment some of that. And so the change I'm seeing is companies, like Jon's, they're investing in $30 an hour people, but instead of hiring to scale this up, instead of doing, 5 CSRs, they're maybe trying to do it with 2 really good ones and use AI, and where these folks are actually monitoring the AI and jumping in the right conversations at the right time, or letting the bot take it to the end zone in appropriate places. So they have sort of more reliable, high performers at a little bit higher rate, but they don't have to hire 5 people at $22 an hour, maybe 2 at 30. And so like, it's such an interesting change. And I think it's just going to keep evolving more toward that way, to where I guess, the high performers are spending time on the right things, right? Which is driving revenue. And some of the sort of rinse and repeatable outbound actions and the disqualifying and the, just the I'm not going to, say simple stuff, but some of the rinse and repeatable stuff AI can handle. And so that's like the big conversation that's happening right now. And I'm spending most of my time there, and we're building toward that to help these companies accomplish it.
Yeah, I would echo exactly what Chris said there. I would say on average, about 30 to 40% of the calls that come into our call center on a daily basis are actual leads. So that means, there's a considerable amount of wasted time. Right. Of, you get robocalls, you get vendor calls, you get customers calling to confirm their appointment, you get technicians calling, you get all that stuff. I see, and I don't think it's going to be very long. I think it's going to be within the next 6 to 12 months. You're going to have an AI that is going to be able to be your level 1 CSR. That is effectively vetting your calls, every call as it comes in, and they're transferring a warm lead over to a level 2 or level 3 CSR. Chris, beyond to kind of compound exactly what you said about, $30, it's not just the $30, it's the turnover that happens.
Oh, the attrition, right? The attrition, you can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't, you can't. And you have to invest so much in them to have them get to that.
To get them there.
That when you get to a great, it's crazy. So, and we have to do those things. So the technology is going to be, I'm really envious of somebody who is in that $5 to $10 million range, because you're going to be able to build these things up, and your path, you're not going to have the costs that so many of the rest of us did 5 to 10 years ago. As we scaled up through those things, you're not going to have a lot of the staff pains that we had. And it's not, this AI is not going to replace people. You're going to allow your people to be able to do things that are a higher level of thinking. Right. Because the AI is not going to be able to do everything. So don't let your staff be scared about that. you want to grow, you want to do these things. Do you want to answer the phone and be yelled at by somebody because your technician, you gave them a time window between 8 and 10 and it's 8:30 and they're not there? You know, is that really what you want to deal with? You know, so yeah, it's coming, and it's going to come fast. The rate of change in our industry that is happening right now is at a level I don't think we could have ever identified that it was ever going to happen. And if you would have told somebody 2 years ago that you could have your call center ran by, you know, your level 1 CSRs be AI, they would say no way in hell. Now you look at it and it's
happening.
A lot more acceptable.
It's happening. Yeah.
No.
Like I'm with John. Like in the next 6 to 8 to 12 months, you're going to see some really big jumps there. And I think for a level 1 CSR, no doubt in my mind that can be handled probably better than any human, more reliably and better than a trained human can. And the sort of deeper level multi-decision making sort of stuff is going to be handled by your 2s and 3s, and those are still going to be people. Like I'm so with that. That's exactly what I see happening, at least for the next 2 years.
Yep.
You know. Yep.
100%.